Shabbat Shalom. We will continue our Shabbat worship with welcoming the sweetness and light of Shabbat, beginning on page 2 with the blessing over the Shabbat candles, and then page 5 for the Shabbat Kiddush. Ada, would you like to come help with the candles and the Kiddush? Magic wand? Okay, Butterfly, you want to light your little candles there?
I'm not.
You want? Okay, I'll do.
Butterfly.
You're,
I'm a fairy.
You're a fairy? Okay, would you like to light that? Okay, thank you. Oops, sorry, I'll get it. Oops. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, will you do those ones? Yes, very good. Now, Ada, will you say the blessing with Hannah?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu v'tzivanu v'tzivanu lahadlich ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. And now Susie will sing it for us as we get ready with the Shabbat Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And page 5 is the Shabbat Kiddush. The big cup for Hannah, the grown-up, and the little cup for Ada, the future grown-up. Okay, you be careful there. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodesho be'ahava uveratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki vanu vacharta Viotanu kidashta mikol ha'ami v'shabbat kodshecha b'yahava uv'ratzon hinechalatanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Drink there. Ordinarily, we would welcome the Shabbat bride, but I think tonight we'll welcome the Shabbat fairy. Since she's already here, we might as well welcome her. And she's in the back of the room, so at verse 9 of Lachadodi, we'll rise and face the other way. Lachadodi, pages 20 and 21, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Likrat Shabbat lechu v'neilcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tefila. Shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segu
Please remain standing as we continue with Chatzi Kaddish on page 26. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Be'alma divarach irutei v'yamlech malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman ve'imeru Yehei Shemei Rabba Mevarach Le'alam u'le'alamei alamaya Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh Ve'yithadar ve'yit'aleh ve'yithalal Shemei dekudesha Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran be'alama ve'imeru Amen. Page 28 is our call to prayer. Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Avad. Let's continue together at the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ma'ariv Aravim. Pages 34 and 35, Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed.
Please be seated. We will continue with the next paragraph of Shema on page 36. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh Asher anochi mitzabecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha Ukeshartam le'ot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchetavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tizkeruhu va'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 39, let's read together at the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40 is Micha Mocha, and Susie will introduce a tune that is new to us by Alana Arian, some of whose tunes we use regularly for other prayers.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Try it with me, the yellow-las. Ready? And then that's the same tune as the Micha Mocha part. Micha Mocha, Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha, Nedor B'Kodesh, Norah Tehillah, Osei Feled, Norah Tehillah, Osei Feled. Back to the yalalas. Good job. It's kind of fun, right?
Page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 44, Vishamru. We turn now to page 46 as we rise for tefillah, continuing on 46, 48, 50, and 52 in turn.
Adonai sifatai titach ufia gitahilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshiach, Morid HaTahal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech V'Rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayehem Emunato, Li'shenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melech, Melech Memihi, Umecha
Chayehe U'matzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman ata lahachayot hakol Baruch ata Adonai Mechayehe hakol Ata kadosh v'shimecha kadosh U'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah Baruch ata Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh.
Please be seated. Page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Let's read together at the top of page 61. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael v'shalom. We continue with a few moments of quiet reflection, either words on pages 62 and 63, or whatever prayers our hearts may prompt, followed by Yehiyu L'Ratzon, the middle of page 62. We continue on page 253 as we think of all those who are in need of healing of body and spirit. Mi sheberach avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak ve'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel ve'Leah, hu yivarech et hacholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. Carlos Arce, Alan Brockman, Dolores Brubaker, Dr. Sarah Chabin, Jason Foreman, Valerie Frank, Liza Grossman, Elizabeth Heider, Deborah LeBlanc, Kate Lane, Jody Lokshin, Judine Luntz, Danny Mastriani, Rick Monsell, David Nelson, Leslie Nelson, Janie Rifkin, Jess Rifkin, Alan Rothman, Mark Sirac, Dory Smith, Sharon Smith, Kristen Spetich, Tom Stefan, Kelly Swab, Barbara Turkletub, David Waltz, Malka Wayne, Florence Weaver, Michelle Zimmerman, Shana Rachel bat Aryeh Valea Hinda, Sarah Devora bat Golda Leah. If you have other names that you would like to share for the prayer for healing, I invite you to share those aloud now. The middle of page 253. We continue with our prayers for Israel on page 259 and 374 as we rise. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go alo. Barech, Barech, et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulateinu. Hagein Aleha Be'evrat Chasdecha, Uferos Aleha Sukat Shalomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go alo. Kol Baleva Mina Nefesh Yehudi Omega Ufate If you are celebrating a birthday or anniversary in the month of June, come on down. Otherwise, please have a seat. And I have the list, so I know who's who. June is a busy month for people being born and people having anniversaries. In fact, this week is a busy month for anniversaries. Mark and Judy's double chai, is that right? This week. And today is your anniversary. Let's see if it's a, see if I can do my math here. Hold on a second. I can't do the math. 44 years? Mazel tov. Together you've been married 88 years. Like that's clever math. Treasurer, don't pay attention to my math on that one. And we have an anniversary later this month. We have another birthday, a birthday, and a birthday. 101. Kanahara. So let me tell you one of the many reasons why I love Jim Barnett. Every Saturday he has breakfast with his son-in-law. And I'm not going to ask you how old your son-in-law is, but I know that he's older than I am. Every Saturday he has breakfast, and sometimes I'll see him at the same place for breakfast, and a couple weeks ago I ordered too much. I didn't finish everything on my plate, but Jim walked over, looked at my plate, and said, "What, are you going to the electric chair?" So my prayer for everybody is to be healthy and live and be strong enough to be able to say whatever you want, wherever you want, to whomever you want, without fear of consequence, because that is living a good life. You should all live a good and blessed life, just like Jim, and you should continue to set the gold standard for us, Jim. June is a wonderful month, and we all know that June is the very best month to have a birthday or an anniversary. And I would agree, because my anniversary is this week, and my wife and I celebrated it together, and now she is preparing to celebrate Shabbat by coming back from a Hillel board retreat at Miami University. Have you heard of such a place? My wife got to spend our anniversary week at your alma mater. She wins. June is a magnificent month. It's a time for summer. It's a time when we get to spend more time outdoors, and it's a time that we get to exhale a little bit from the ordinariness of the school year. Even if we're not in school and don't have children in school, we can see the traffic is a little bit different. The roads start to get paved even more for Hall of Fame weekend. The orange cones are out in blossom just like the flowers. And it's a time to give thanks to God for being alive and keeping us and sustaining us for this joyous moment. And with that, Susie will belt out a Shehechianu blessing. Shelley Schweitzer, that's not as much energy as I had in youth group. Just to show, I've collected many birthdays since we used to sing that before loading the buses at Nelfty events way so many years ago. Mazel tov to all of you. Enjoy the rest of your month. Please, you can have a seat again. Earlier this evening, many of us gathered for Temple Israel's 141st annual meeting, and it's riveting. We review reports, we elect leaders, we discuss finances, we celebrate accomplishments, and we consider the work that lies ahead. And it is not the most exotic moment in the life of a congregation. It does not have the thrill and the grandeur and the majesty of the high holidays with the white robes and the beautiful music. It has the reporting of what has been and an expectation and a hope for what will be. And that's quite Jewish. Not the mundane things that we do every day, but the collection of all of that memory and putting it to good use so that we're not just reporting on the past, but looking forward to the future. In a sense, we did exactly this evening what the 10 scouts plus 2, the 12 scouts, did in this week's Torah portion, and I divide them into 2 categories, the 10 and the 2. Moses, we're told in the Torah, sent scouts into the land of Canaan with a straightforward assignment: gather information and bring back a report. He might have subtitled it, "You report, we decide," which I believe is that's the news channel that's on in every airport, which is why I try to limit my travel. But you report, and the children of Israel will decide, but that's not how it worked. All 12 brought back reports that were laden with judgment. They were supposed to just say, what is the land like, what opportunities exist, what challenges await. So the scouts went out, and 40 days later, they returned with their findings. And they said, the land is indeed rich and fruitful. They brought back this gigantic cluster of grapes, which became the symbol of the Israeli Ministry of Tourism. I've been to Israel many times. I've never seen grapes that big. Maybe near the nuclear power plant, they grow that big, but not on purpose, and you wouldn't want to eat them. But the land was rich and fertile, so much so that even to this day, the land of Israel is rich and fertile. Even though it is in a desert and it's an arid climate, Israel blossoms. In fact, much of the produce that we enjoy in this country is a result of technology that was created by Jews in the land of Israel. Because what do Jews do? We survive. And what did these 12 scouts, what were they supposed to do? They were supposed to just bring back a report. But the scouts did not just report facts, they interpreted them, the 10 and the 2. 10 scouts focused on the obstacles. They went to Canaan and they saw fortified cities, they saw powerful inhabitants, and they saw reason to doubt whether the children of Israel could succeed. But 2 of them, the only 2 names we remember, Joshua and Caleb, saw the same realities but drew different conclusions. Where the others saw obstacles, these 2 saw possibility. Now, the Torah's lesson is not that facts do not matter. Facts absolutely matter. Those 10 spies told the truth, and so did the other 2. The lesson is that the facts alone never tell the entire story. Human beings have to decide for ourselves what those facts mean. And this is true for congregations as well. Every annual meeting presents us with facts. We can measure membership and finances and attendance and educational programs and volunteer engagement, countless other indicators. My preference is for surveys because I like data and I like to give people the opportunity not just to tell me what they think, but to tell everybody what they think and do it in a way that we can calculate, because I know how much people value things by how much they respond to them. That's why I keep asking you for your opinions. I may be the first rabbi in the history of the world who has ever asked people for their opinions before the opinions were shared, because I want to hear it. I may not always agree, but I want to hear. I want to know what story these facts tell. Eventually, congregations have to ask that deep question. What does all of this data mean? What does this 10, what does the 2? Is it a sign of decline? Is it a sign of opportunity? Is it a sign of scarcity like those 10 scouts? Or is it a sign of possibility like Joshua and Caleb? Are we driven by fear or are we led by purpose? Joshua and Caleb remind us that the future is not determined solely by circumstances. The future is determined by vision, by confidence, and by faith in what a community can accomplish together. Last month, I missed a Shabbat service because I was attending the retirement celebration of one of my earliest mentors, who has had an up and down career. One of the things that I admire about him is his resilience. And he is now 75 years old and finally retiring, and he spent the last 20 years of his rabbinate in one place. And as he was being feted by colleagues at this retirement, one consistent theme emerged about this person, about this rabbi, is that for him, the question was never, how much can we afford to do? The question is, what do we need to do? And then he found the money. He didn't find it on his own, and he didn't just find it on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. He did this when he was in Cleveland. He did this when he was in in Trenton, New Jersey. Tonight, as we have our annual meeting behind us, I'm reminded that our congregation has not endured this long because previous generations just ignored reality. Previous generations of this congregation endured and thrived because they faced reality honestly while still believing in the future. Previous generations of this congregation weathered wars, economic upheaval, social change, and shifting demographics. Just by show of hands, how many of you have been members of Temple Israel long enough, or were members of Shari Torah when this building was exclusively Shari Torah, to remember when this room or the room on 25th Street was full to capacity at the high holidays? Just by show of hands. It's real. You don't just have to read about that in history books. There are people scouting the future who remember what was. And some people choose to be held back by what is no longer instead of looking forward to what can be. I have a feeling that my friend who recently retired, if he were on this pulpit and looked out at this room, he would recommend two things. One is remove all of the pews and bring in movable chairs, not so we kill the custodian, but bring in movable chairs so that we can create a more intimate environment, so that instead of seeing 60 people in a room made for 300, you see 60 people in a room that looks like it's made for 60 people, because it changes the dynamic of people's perspective. It makes it more likely that we will be like Joshua and Caleb and count by who is here, as opposed to counting by who is not. Generations before us continued to build because they understood that Jewish communities do not endure by accident. They endure because people choose to invest in them. If you were at our annual meeting a little bit ago, you heard our treasurer give a report about an endowment. The Temple Israel endowment is roughly $6 million, which is extraordinary for a congregation this size, and that is not by accident. It is because people have been good stewards and good solicitors in making sure that their values continued to the next generation. And the people who are in leadership now endure because they choose not to squander that money. In our own time, we face challenges that are real. We have always faced external challenges. Barb told us about the yeoman's work that Andy Meshikow, the chair of our security committee, and Tom Porter, the chair of the LLC, are doing to make sure that our building and our community remains safe. We live in a moment when Jewish identity, Jewish community, and Jewish peoplehood matter profoundly and are under threat from the outside and from the inside. So we need places, not just physical places, but spiritual places as well, where Jews can gather and learn and celebrate and mourn and pray and stand together. We need congregations that can kindle Jewish life for the next generation, because it is our generation. How extraordinary is it that we have a regular Shabbat attendee who is more than a century on earth? Jim wakes up every morning ready for the day ahead. That would not have been conceivable 75 years ago. People today, thank goodness, are living longer on average, living longer, living and working for more years, enjoying longer retirements, God willing, in good health, and people, depending on particular situations, people have either more or less discretionary income, but people still have their values. And the values that brought Jewish people to Stark County to build this congregation are still the values of Stark County. And our congregation, our community, have been deeply enriched by people who were not originally Jewish, bringing their traditions and their values into our family. The Jewish community today is different than it was 141 years ago, and it is different than it will be 141 years from now. But in order for it to be vital 141 years from now, we need to do work now. The question of Parashat Shlach, this week's Torah portion, is not whether challenges exist. They do. You could look at the future of Temple Israel and say it isn't what it used to be, and you would be correct. You can also look at the future of Temple Israel and say it is not yet what it can be. The question is, which report will we carry forward? Will we be the scouts who reconnoitered and only saw the obstacles? Or will we be like Joshua and Caleb, who saw the same landscape and nevertheless believed that the future was worth pursuing? This community is not disappearing. The community is changing. And I'm proud of the fact that we take every opportunity we can to celebrate milestones. We don't just do it for birthdays and anniversaries, but every time there is an opportunity to celebrate some milestone in this community, we take it. Tomorrow morning, this room will be almost full in order to celebrate Chazan Bruce Braun's 50th anniversary with Shari Torah Synagogue. He's not as old as he pretends like he is, because he was in college when he started coming. But if you know Bruce, he knows exactly the date, the time, and what shoes he was wearing the first time he led a service at Shari Torah Synagogue. But tomorrow is the 50th anniversary of that occasion. How remarkable. Jim, if I'm here 50 years from my beginning, I'll still only be 98. You're always going to win. Every opportunity to celebrate a milestone is a chance to look backward with nostalgia and look forward with hope. I hope that we carry forward a report of gratitude for what has been built, a report of confidence in what can still be accomplished, and a shared commitment to the sacred work that remains before us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Barb Spira, the president of our congregation, will now read words that I did write for her. I didn't write the other stuff. Because if I had, I wouldn't have been that tame.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Susie, for leading our music. If you are going to Stark Pride tomorrow, be sure to visit Temple Israel's booth. Join us next Friday for our s'mores Oneg Shabbat before the Shabbat service. Please read your service handout, weekly emails, and website for upcoming programs. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, thank you. We will continue now with our liturgy on page 282. Page 282, as we rise before the ark for Aleinu L'Shabach, the middle of page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tet gedula l'yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim
Page 294. This Shabbat, as we prepare to say the words of Mourner's Kaddish, we remember the following people who died at this season in years past: Arnold Adler, Valentin Arce, Judith Elsa Blau, Lester Cohen, Raisha Kahn, Sidney Erlanger, Ellen Fernie, Helen Finkelstein, Milton Fleischer, Harry Greenberger, Saul Henkin, Isaac Hirshheimer, Charles Cadis, Barry Kane, Rabbi Charles B. Latz, David J. Lavin, Ernest A. Leb, Forrest McVicker, Lena Mestel, Dora Newman, Harry Newpoff, Sally Ortman, Naomi Rapport, Robert P. Rogers, Suzanne Roth, Ruth Rothman Tully, Carlos Rosenbaum, Elaine Tenenbaum, Bernard Winkler, Joseph Winkler, and two who have died more recently, Vicki Prescott and Pat Sherman. If you have other names to share or corrected pronunciations of names that I read, I invite you to share those names now. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divarach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon, u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam le'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shemei dekudesha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom ben Ramav uyaseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom v'roma, uyaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
Please be seated. We began our service with increasing the light and sweetness with the candles in the Kiddush, and we prepared to conclude our time together by giving thanks to God for providing nourishment from the earth. So it is time for challah. You going to come on down, Ada? It's Pavlovian. Your wing fall off? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And we will conclude on page 330, Ma Yafeh Hayom. How beautiful is this day.